playing with confidence. I think we're pretty tough.
Goes to Reddish from close range, adds the two, chance at a three-point play. Stephen Black, he's in double figures.
Their game plan was to try to beat Stephen up.
And Boucher takes out Stephen Black, and that was a little after the event.
If you can't guard them, I guess they got to fight them. I thought we were playing basketball.
I can understand Brisbane's frustrations to be beaten comprehensively, and that's the third time in a row by us. You know, that's got to hurt.
We'd love to see them in the finals.
On your home court?
Wherever, doesn't matter.
This is always a great time to play. I mean, you lose, you're done.
It's not time for pussyfooting. Pussyfooting doesn't work. Pussyfooting creates pussy. Pussycats. We're Wildcats.
Oh, what a way to kick off the AXA final series of the Phillips Championship, and expect those fighting words between Brisbane and Perth to be backed up with actions here in the first of 4 elimination finals, live and exclusive on Fox Sports. Hello everyone, I'm John Casey. Great to have you with us. After 23 weeks of the regular season, we're down to the top 8, and Perth against Brisbane is certainly one we are looking forward to. NBL Hall of Famer Steve Carfino is with me as usual, and while Perth have beaten Brisbane 3 straight times this regular season, that goes out the window now. It is all on the line.
It is so tough to beat a team 4 times in a row, but that's exactly what the Perth Wildcats have done to the Brisbane Bullets if you count the game last year that they beat them. So it's very tough to go out and do that, but they have done it, and they've done it in such a fashion of running the basketball up the court, and I'm sure they're going to do that tonight, even though they're on their away here tonight against the Brisbane Bullets, and you normally don't play that style on the away court. They're going to do it because it's been successful, and one of the reasons it's been successful because the Brisbane Bullets have no answer when it comes to guarding Sean Reddish. I think he's going to be the key tonight. If the Bullets can counteract that performance by that man the last time they met, he just ran him out of the gym. He can shoot the 3, he can put it on the floor, and Bobby Brennan and Mark Bradkey really have a difficult time in guarding him. They've got to be proactive instead of reactive.
Well, already 3 teams have been eliminated from the Phillips Championship race, and this is how the sides finished at the end of regulation, with New Zealand, Townsville and West Sydney exiting the competition. We'll hear about the sacking or the non-renewal of Crocs coach Ian Stacker at half-time from their CEO David Carmichael, their chairman. But Sydney and Melbourne guaranteed through to the semi-finals, and the teams beneath them will now slug it out to see who is going through to the Final 4. We start here tonight with Brisbane against Perth, and then it will be Cairns against Hunter tomorrow night. This is how it will unfold. The winner of tonight's match has an appointment on Friday in the quarterfinals against Wollongong. They are in the same half of the draw as the Melbourne Tigers. Tomorrow night we head north to Cairns. We're certainly looking forward to that. They take on the Hunter Pirates, with the winner getting an appointment with Adelaide on Saturday night for the right to play the Sydney Kings in the semi-finals. So it has all come down to this, and those teams that we're going to see here tonight, Perth and Brisbane, both will be expecting a semi-final finish, but one of them is going to be disappointed.
Yeah, no kidding, because both of these teams are playing very well. The Perth Wildcats come with some great form coming into this game. They've done a good job at the defensive end of the floor and shutting some teams down and slowing them down. So the Perth Wildcats are the favorite in this game. No doubt about that. Their body language is very good. They're very confident against this team. They feel like they have the better of the matchups, so they're confident. Brisbane Bullets are playing well too. So the Bullets come into this thing with a lot of confidence, and they feel as if they're the favorite, especially in their on their home court. They're looking to do some damage, and they believe that they have more talent than anybody in the league. All they need are a couple of breaks. They're taking some good momentum going into the playoffs. They feel like this is a stepping stone to win the championship.
Well, Brisbane were the pre-season favourites. They've had sellout crowds for the last 3 or 4 weeks to try and drive them as far as they can go. And with a 4-1 record in their last 5 matches, that is impressive. They were all over an undermanned Adelaide the last time we saw them on Fox Sports on Saturday night. They defeated Wollongong in a tough one in OT, and then had victories over West Sydney and New Zealand prior to that. Their last loss was against Sydney by 27 points, but certainly the Brisbane Bullets have got the job done here at home. They've won 9 of their last 10 matches. They feel invincible to a certain degree.
I like the way they run the ball. I know that they have a couple of experienced guys guys in there, and sometimes they get away from their running game. But if they run, they have to have a purpose. They have to have Bobby Brennan getting to the block. They have to have Mark Bradkey getting to the block. Getting these guys involved, giving them some touches early in the offense makes them better rebounders, makes them better on the defensive end of the floor. That's what they need to do to win here tonight.
The Wildcats have had a great preparation coming into the playoffs because most of their matches have been at home. In fact, they've only played 2 road games since New Year's Eve. One was in Wollongong and one was in Darwin, and their record is impressive. Coming off a last start 23-point win over Hunter. Prior to that, a 33-point thrashing of Townsville in Darwin. They've defeated Cairns by double figures, and that loss to Adelaide at home was the last time that the Perth Wildcats have been beaten. So their form line is reading very good as well, apart from the fact that they have had such a good record against Brisbane this season. And Peter Crawford could be a danger man for Brisbane. He has starred against them in each of the matches so far. He averages 15 points per game on the season. He's up to 25 against the Brisbane Bullets. They need to try and contain him as well.
They do. Mick Hill needs to come into the game and do a better job of containing Peter Crawford because he has been the danger man. Sam McKinnon might also get the assignment, but he is definitely a guy they need to slow down.
Well, these teams have been going at it for 25+ years in the National Basketball League. Their 70th meeting tonight. Perth have dominated, winning almost 2/3 of those games. Are they going to win again, Steve?
Everything in my fiber is pointing towards the Perth Wildcats, but my gut instinct says the Brisbane Bullets feel like they're the best team in the competition, and they're starting to play some good basketball, taking some momentum, playing in front of their home crowd. I think they've got a sniff of the playoffs, and they're going to get it done tonight.
Steve likes Brisbane. I think if it was a horse race, everyone would be backing Perth, and that's the way I'm going. This is live and active. The NBL playoffs coming at you right after this.
This weekend from the A-League. The regular season's over. Now our attention turns to the final series. 7:30 Friday night, the first leg of the minor semi-final puts Newcastle up against local rivals, the Central Coast Mariners. Then on Sunday, live at 4:30, Adelaide United takes on Sydney in Game 1 of the major semi-final. Oh, yes! The final series kicks off 7:30 Friday night, live on Fox Sports 1.
In the back, you can have it, you strap up and we can beat when you win. We can do this 5-on-5 or 1-on-1. Yeah, I box again and I'm a son of a gun. When I don't no touchdown, swing with a bat. I play baseball, standing in my b-ball stands. I catch the bands and catch the...
This game is brought to you by the AXA. I need a new game plan. Whatever your plans, you can be confident AXA and your financial advisor will help bring them to life. Be life confident.
That's a splendid shot on this beautiful afternoon. Hello, what have we got here? Oh, there's always one ready to spoil it.
Some people do anything to be different.
Dodo's $4.90 internet offer will now give you 6 months free. Now, that's different. That's right, take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monthly payments from Dodo's dial-up internet deal. Call Dodo now on 131 602 for 6 months free internet or visit dodo.com.au.
Foxsports.com.au. Subscribe to Sports Mail and we'll keep you posted on the latest news and all the great action on Fox Sports for the week ahead. Go to the Sports Mail link, enter your name and email address and we'll do the rest. Foxsports.com.au.
Welcome back to the Brisbane Convention Centre. The red button is available to our digital subscribers through Foxtel and Ozstar to get you underway with more camera angles and lots of excitement. The stats as well. Or foxsports.com.au to keep right up to date with what is a hectic schedule. This is the first of 8 games in 10 nights for us here on Fox Sports. And Billy Mildenhall, 16-time referee of the year. Roger Shields and Brad Giersch are the men in charge. And we are set to go in the AXA final series of the Phillips Championship. Derek Rucker starts from the bench tonight, both Brisbane and Perth, with the same lineups that they started in their last minor round game. And Fox Sports viewers saw Brisbane last Saturday night against Adelaide. So it's Bradkey, Brannan, McKinnon, Black, and the rookie Adam Gibson. There is Derek Rucker, who will wear a mask tonight. No Leonard Copeland. And for the Perth Wildcats, Tony Ronaldson, Matt Shanahan, Peter Crawford, David Bailey and Sean Redditch. We are underway in the AXA final series, and even the opening tip hotly contested between Brisbane and Perth before the Bullets, working to the left of your screen, control the tip and will have first use here. Great atmosphere, the fans getting involved as well. The shot clock rolls to single numbers now for the Brisbane Bullets. It's McKinnon against Crawford. Banging bodies, forced to fire from longer than he wanted to. Brannan couldn't tip it in, and the Wildcats get a stop straight up. Peter Crawford picks up the dribble, goes to Shanahan, working against the former Perth player Stephen Black. Now here's Redditch against Brannan, who's fouled out in 2 of the 3 matches between these teams this season. Tony Ronaldson, well, his opening salvo came up short as Stephen Black feeds Gibson from close range. The rookie gets Brisbane underway.
Gibson did a good job against the Adelaide 36ers at creating a lot of energy. He doesn't have to take a whole lot of shots and create opportunities for scoring for himself, but they love the young fella's energy.
Crawford dishes to Ronaldson, who this time gets a better look at the hoop, and the Bear opens Perth scoring. Bradkey down low against Ronaldson. Skip pass intended for Gibson, who gets it now from Brannan in traffic, and hands everywhere, and it's Peter Crawford who gets the loose ball to Bailey, the smallest man in the NBL, couldn't finish it off under pressure, and now Gibson operating solo against Perth will slow it down. Launceston born, spent time at the AIS. Gibson goes to Stephen Black as Bradkey working the baseline, and Bradkey impressively.
I thought that was odd that they sent a double team over to Stephen Black, who was posting up David Bailey, and then allowed Mark Bradkey to get a point-blank shot. Stephen Black is not a back-to-the-basket player. Make him hit a couple of shots like that.
Here's David Bailey, the player of the week, coming off a career-high 35, which included 8 threes to equal the club record for Perth. Short-armed that attempt, though, and now Gibson going to work, back to McKinnon. Bradkey to Stephen Black. Brannan trying to post up Redditch using his muscle. Ronaldson reaches in, deflects the ball away from Stephen Black. Brisbane has 11 on the shot clock.
Look at Stephen Black in the low post. Tony Ronaldson comes, and Mark Bradkey just creates some space for himself on the baseline.
Stephen Black cutting hard to the hoop is rewarded. He adds another 2 to give Brisbane a 4-point lead.
And basketball is a game of adjustments. So when you beat a team 3 times in a row in the same fashion, it's the Bullets who are going to make the adjustments.
Poor pass from Bailey, picked up by Sam McKinnon, who goes to Gibson. Bailey retrieves the situation momentarily, but Bobby Brannan marches to the hoop and misses what he could have made. Redditch at the other end against Bradkey. Goes down solidly, and Bradkey came off second best as well as picking up the foul.
Sean Redditch was just going to out-quick him to the hoop. Mark Bradkey steps up. Either caught one in the knee or in the foot.
Aggressive work from Redditch. Top 5 in the league in scoring with 20 per game. Redditch top 10 in rebounding. And the New Zealand Breakers gave him away last season. Didn't think he was up to the NBL. Shanahan with a height advantage on Stephen Black. He turns around against his former team, or one of the 8 he's played for, and Shanahan opens his scoring account.
See, in that case, Brisbane don't send anybody on the double down, because, you know, make him hit a couple of shots like that before you adjust your defense.
McKinnon goes to Brannan, and he's ready to fire. His first points in the game. They've doubled Brisbane's Perth's 4 at the moment.
And that's key to me, that they get Bobby Brannan and Mark Bradkey involved. Make those small guys for Perth pay the price on that end of the floor.
Shanahan working against Stephen Black. Down to the baseline. Ronaldson ready to go from deep. Caught the front of the rim. And Brisbane look to build on a 4-point buffer. We've played almost 4 minutes here. Term number 1. As Brannan spins on Redditch. Now hands off to Bradkey, who gets the nice touch to go. A 6-point lead after 4 minutes here for the Bullets.
Key to that was getting the basketball in quick, making a move before the defense could send somebody over, and then have good spacing.
Ronaldson works inside Bradkey, confronted by Brannan, gets a tough shot to tumble.
That's a tough cover for Mark Bradkey. Tony Ronaldson showing the fake at the three-point line. That's always going to be hard for him to close out and stay with Tony Ronaldson off the dribble.
Two experienced campaigners as Brannon looks for some help. Gibson provides it. Skips past David Bailey, and growing in confidence, Adam Gibson adds another two.
That is a confidence play. And he can shoot the three-point shot, but he looked a little nervous against Adelaide once he put it on the floor.
David Bailey handing off to Shanahan. Now goes to work, gets good penetration with the left hand, couldn't finish it. Redditch is there, surrounded, had to retreat back to Shanahan. And the Perth Wildcats with Shanahan working the baseline, a little too nimble for Mark Bradkey, and Shanahan gets the job done.
And I was wondering why they were going to set a ball screen for him. That's a guard on a big. He should be able to take him off the dribble without the assistance of a screen.
Gibson guarded by Bailey. Now they look for Brannon sneaking backdoor against Redditch, and Bobby Brannon adds the two.
Shot chart full of shots in the key for the Brisbane Bullets, as they did against Adelaide early.
Bailey penetrating, kicking to Shanahan, who's one of only two scorers for Perth at the moment. Shanahan with 4, Ronaldson with 4, but it's Brisbane with 14 and a 6-point buffer. Middle stages, term number 1. Sudden death elimination final. The season is over for the loser here tonight.
Shanahan's been effective against the Brisbane Bullets on that play. That's the one I was talking about. Mark Bradkey just all on his own on the wing. No weak side help. Shanahan timed it perfectly.
Peter Crawford sits down for Perth, replaced by Paul Rogers. Mick Hill checks in as Stephen Black gets a rest. And pressure up the floor a little here for Bailey as well. Now Gibson retreats away. Brisbane's momentum continuing here. They've won their last 4 matches. As Dylan Boucher goes to work, he's checked in, replacing Redditch. And Bailey pulling the trigger on a long-range 3. Couldn't get anything happening. Bradkey grabs the rebound off to McKinnon. Brannon and Hill in support. And it's Mick Hill who picks up the dribble. Bradkey to Gibson. And now Sam McKinnon spinning on Boucher. Looking to penetrate, confronted by Rogers, forces up a tough one. Rogers cleans up for Perth. Boucher, given plenty of latitude down low, invites himself from close range, and Rogers with a tip jam to open his scoring account.
That's what I'm talking about, Case. Great substitution by Scott Fisher, because the bigs for Brisbane were dominating. Get Paul Rogers in there, and it's a matchup that he can handle.
Gibson penetrating, wanting help. Poor pass picked off by the alert Matt Shanahan, who dances past McKinnon. And a goaltend is called by Roger Shields. Brad Giersch and Bill Mildenhall, 2 referees, were closer to the action than Roger Shields. Perhaps he had the best look at it.
And this is Paul Rogers going upstairs for the jam. Great confidence booster. Let's see if that hits the backboard first. That's a close one to call by Roger Shields, who's at half court.
2-point lead in favour of the Brisbane Bullets. 5 minutes left. Term number 1 here. Brisbane led by as many as 6, but Perth making their run now. And let's listen in with Joey Wright.
On that bottom of that 2-3, that's the side you're going. Make sure we get a body on the rebound down there. Give them nothing easy. Contest shots. We talked about contesting every shot. They shot the ball 3 or 4 times. We haven't had anybody around them. Running at somebody's going to make them speed it up, so run at them, all right? Let's go, fellas. All right, good job, good job.
Well, the Brisbane Bullets 7 of 11 from the field at 64% and had a great start here. Wildcats 6 of 15 at 40%. Neither team yet to hit a 3 in the match. Neither team yet to get to the free throw line. Certainly some finals nerves being played out here early stages as Derek Rucker comes into the match without the mask. He's going nude, so to speak. McKinnon, catch and shoot from the long range. In fact, had a foot on the line. Now they've changed it to a 3. It is a 3. The first of the match for Sam McKinnon.
Boy, that's a huge confidence boost for Sam. That means you've got to start to respect his jump shot, and then he'll just be able to take you to the hole a lot easier.
He's been averaging 1-3 a fortnight on the season, McKinnon, but gets the first here. And Derek Rucker, with his foot on the accelerator, pulls up for the triple. The man hasn't played since injuring himself 15 days ago, and his first shot is all the bottom of the net.
Well, he's been shooting a lot of those. Make him put it on the floor. I'm sure he wants to shoot jump shots instead of get that face too close to the action on his first possession.
Boucher and Rogers working hard. Foul's going to be called as well on the Brisbane Bullets. The 2 counts. What an inspirational play from Derek Rucker.
There's no doubt in my mind that that was going up. He's looking to put his stamp on the game as soon as he gets in. A 3 in transition. In rhythm. You can't do it. Make him put it on the floor.
Well, Derek's one of 3 former league MVPs in this match. Paul Rogers was MVP of the league in 2000, Mark Radke in 2002, and Derek Rucker way back in 1990. Radke sits down for the blood rule. Boucher's on the free throw line for the Perth Wildcats to take the first free throws in the match, and Rogers needing a change of singlet as well. Boucher only 60% from the stripe this season. Caught it deep, and the Bullets with a 6-point lead, a little over 4 minutes left, term number 1. Go to work again. Mick Hill working against Shanahan. Slow pass for Rucker, who was unsighted by David Bailey, who just did enough to force the error. Matt Burston into the game for Perth as well. And quick to provide a screen for Bailey. Rucker playing with 2 plates in his right cheek. Good ball movement from Perth, but Mick Hill was there to close down Shanahan, forced him into a tough shot, kept alive by Burston, a reluctant shooter, handing off to Boucher. Redditch going back door, controls the pass but couldn't finish it off, and now Rucker scurries after the loose ball. Brisbane look ominous at the moment as Rucker has one rattle out. Certainly Brisbane have had the better of the first term. They've dictated the tempo. They're playing at Brisbane's speed at the moment as Boucher hits Redditch, working on Brandon. Mick Hill, the double team. Redditch with problems, has Boucher baseline. Fans thought he was camped in the key for far too long as Bailey pushes Rucker out of the way, gets Shanahan an open look, and he comes up with the goods.
That's a big play. Good read by David Bailey, too, that he knew he drew the defense and knew exactly where the open guy is. Matty Shanahan ready to pound on that 3.
Egan measuring the triple. He comes to the party as well.
Looks as if Brisbane aren't going to die wondering. Sam McKinnon shot that 3 early in the offense, as well as Daniel Egan, 2 guys that aren't famous for knocking down 3s.
Boucher has Burston working hard. Brennan comes across to pick up the foul. Only the 3rd foul called on Brisbane in the match. Perth are yet to commit a foul, and we've played 9.5 minutes.
Hard to see from that angle.
Well, Bobby Brannan fouled out twice against Perth this regular season, and in the other match picked up 4 fouls. He has struggled to contain Redditch and Burston and Rogers at different times, undersized. And Matt Burston has had injury problems of his own to the stripe. Edges his team back to within 4. 2.5 minutes left, term number 1.
Well, the Bullets are 66% from the field and 75% from the 3-point line. And the Wildcats have really weathered that storm.
Here's Egan. Finding Bobby Brannan at close quarters, back to Mick Hill, who thought about the 3. Now edges a little closer, under pressure from Redditch. Boucher with the loose ball. Redditch goes in for the uncontested dunk, and the Perth Wildcats close to within 2.
And the Bullets just lost their way offensively. That shot Derek Rucker hit was a big one, but they've gone away from running the ball and getting the ball into their bigs and getting those shots in the key.
Pass from Mick Hill intended for Egan. Redditch did an excellent job to keep it alive for the Wildcats. Boucher hands off to David Bailey. Now Burston kicks gets it to Crawford against Brad Williamson, who starred here last Saturday night for Brisbane, and he forced the error. Rucker goes behind the back. David Bailey picked which way he was going and relieved him of possession. Now Rucker does likewise, and down on the floor getting dirty despite the injuries that he's carrying. And the loose ball eventually comes back to Dylan Boucher, now bursting from close range.
Very scrappy possession by both teams. Or changing of possessions. A rush of blood by a couple of guys that probably should have just held onto the ball and not look for the transition, but for the hoop.
Wildcats have scored the last 6 here as Egan spins on burst and couldn't finish it. Bobby Brannan kept it alive, couldn't make it fit initially, goes back for seconds against Redditch. The hook shot won't tumble, and now it's Peter Crawford feeding Bailey. 45 seconds left, term number 1. Excellent D from Rucker, but it spills to Boucher, who gets a shot from Bobby Brannan. It goes unwhistled.
Look at this. Derek gets him back. He gets the rip. And he's not worried about that face right there. He had the ball stripped by David Bailey just before that. And he returns the favor very quickly.
Mick Hill firing from long range, caught the back of the rim. Loose ball knocked out of court by Peter Crawford. Bullets will get another opportunity.
And Bullets have been shooting a lot of threes. As I mentioned before, they're getting away from what has been successful for them to establish the early lead. Now, a couple of confident shots are great, but when they start drying up, you need to go back to the successful stuff. Bradkey back into the game with Bobby Brennan. Let's see if they get back to it.
Brannan gets the 2, but Roger Shields waves it away. A foot violation was called prior to the score. Reset the shot clock here, so now a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Brisbane can slow this down if they so desire and look for the last percentage play of the first term. Tied at 23, and that was after Brisbane led 20-12. So an 11-3 run from Perth in the last 4 minutes of this term. And every possession is vital as Rucker has Stephen Black firing over Boucher, who was caught flat-footed. Brannan lucky not to be called for a foul there against Crawford, who goes from halfway, couldn't make it tumble. But we are tied at 23. It's quarter time here in Brisbane. The Bullets 23, Perth 23, here on Fox Sports.
Great job by the Wildcats to stick in the game when the Brisbane Bullets started off so well. Going down inside, they made the adjustments and tied this baby up going into the second quarter.
Every time, get a body on it. All right? We're going to start in 5 right here. We come out of this where.
Well, stakes are high here in the playoffs. The Perth Wildcats have asked us not to have a microphone in their huddle. We're not going to be able to listen in with Scott Fisher and his team at the moment. No surprise, because for one of these teams, Steve, it's all over at the end of this one.
Secure it. All right? Good job. We're all right. We're all right. We want to keep the runs down. Keep the runs down. Here we go. Let's go. Good D. Go, boys. Motion X down here. Get some movement. Then look to attack.
This is what I love about the playoffs. It's going to be momentum swings, adjustments all night long, because at no point is anybody thinking about, oh, well, we've got a big game tomorrow, we better rest certain players, or hopefully we'll make a run at them in the second half. There's no time for them to get down by double figures. It's desperation, and you can see it in the intensity.
So does the other guy with Tim too. So I thought it was pretty even in terms of...
Well, the referees haven't had a lot to do here in this first period. Only 3 fouls were called, all on Brisbane, and the Perth Wildcats averaged 24 fouls per game, or 6 per quarter. And they had none there in the first term of a playoff match in sudden death. That's quite surprising.
It is surprising. And I think both of these coaches will be working these officials, even though Guish, Billy Mildenhall, and Roger Shields are very experienced officials. Both of them will be working these officials, making sure that they don't get the short end of the stick. There's no tomorrow.
I thought that they were very lenient on a couple of occasions. The referees have decided to let them play here, and there's certainly no problem with that. As the Perth Wildcats come back up the floor to get us underway. Serve number 2, Burston working against the shorter Bobby Brannan, who reaches in and is called for the foul.
It's a big bonus. That's a big body. Nat Burston in there on Bobby Brannan. If they can take it to them on the low block, get these guys in foul trouble, there goes the big advantage that the Brisbane Bullets have on the other end, scoring points at close range.
Well, the foul was called on Mark Bradkey, who's picked up 2 now. Brannan has 1 foul, and Sam McKinnon has the other. Only 4 of them in the match, and the Perth Wildcats are in front for the first time in the game on the back of a 7-0 run, bracketed across quarter time. Not for long, though, as the Brisbane Bullets restore their lead.
Those are tough shots, but Bobby Brannan has got to hit those. We saw him miss a layup earlier. Just kind of takes the wind out of your sails when there's a blocking foul. It's a good call. He's not there. On Adam Gibson.
For a block, it's 2.
And Dylan Boucher forcing the issue here using his experience. Multi-championship winner in the New Zealand NBL. But Adam Gibson so far has been impressive. Doesn't seem to be overawed by his first ever NBL final. He is only 19 years old, the 3rd youngest player in the NBL. And tonight we'll see the youngest man in the NBL, Jeff Dowdle, teenager from New South Wales, who has been picked up by the Wildcats.
I don't understand how Dylan Boucher can stand somebody up like he's going to shoot. He's not going to shoot a jump shot. For goodness sake, he's going to put it on the floor and try and turn the corner. Adam Gibson should be able to slide with him.
Gibson working against Crawford. Now Sam McKinnon to Stephen Black. Back to Gibson. Shot clock works to single numbers. Active hands from Boucher. Doing an excellent job.
For a guy that doesn't have a jump shot, he is effective every night. And his work ethic would be second to none. Anybody in this league.
Well, Boucher had a season-high 6 steals to lead the NBL early this season, along with Sam McKinnon and Paulie Hanari. And after rattling around the rim, the shot tumbles, and the Brisbane Bullets enjoy a 3-point lead.
Boy, does Sam McKinnon want the ball on that one or what? A great job of sealing. Didn't get the basketball, popped back out for his jumper and got it to go.
Boucher, bounce pass for Redditch, who fires over Bradkey, caught the front of the rim, but the user-friendly roll for Sean Redditch. Two-point ball game after 90 seconds here in the second period. Gibson top of the key, working inside Shanahan, off the window. Nice finish from the rookie.
He is quick. Well, I would invite him to shoot the jumper. I think that ball went up of Shanahan. It looked like he tried to retrieve that. Look at that. He has got such a quick step, and he's getting the confidence to finish those plays off. Adam Gibson. Have him shoot a couple of J's. Stephen Black can't handle that bounce pass. Kicks it out of bounds.
Shanahan to Boucher. Now Crawford, who hasn't seen a lot of it so far, has taken the 1 shot so far in the game. And Shanahan measures the triple, got plenty of time to line it up, and Matt Shanahan, who's shooting the ball at 39% from deep, adds another.
The fear of Sean Redditch being able to take a big off the dribble allowed Matty Shanahan to pop open.
Bradkey now to Stephen Black. Boucher with the active hands again. And Tony Ronaldson checks in for the Wildcats to give Matthew Burston a rest.
Wildcats are not giving up any jump shots anymore. They did early in the game. Weren't able to guard the interior, and then some guys started to pop loose from the perimeter. But as the Bullets put the ball on the floor on dribble penetration and looking for shooters, there's nobody open.
Stephen Black with a quick release 3.
That's a shot over a good hand on the defensive end by Matt Shanahan. And you can live with those. If they continue to shoot, make tough shots, then you're going to try and make some adjustment.
Here's Redditch dancing into the paint. Blocked by Bradkey. It spills to Bailey. He has one jump over the cylinder. And Brisbane grabbing some momentum here. We've played almost 3 minutes of this second period. As McKinnon goes to work unsuccessfully, gets it back again. Bradkey, who was there for a long time, banks two off the window.
Where Sam McKinnon's come to play tonight. When things don't go for him, he's able to make something out of nothing, as he did on that last possession.
Shanahan calling the three-point and knocking down another just when his team needed it.
Matt Shanahan can flat out shoot the rock. I think the only person that can stop him from shooting is himself. A little too unselfish at times. Bobby Brennan with the miss, and Mark Bradkey gets the tip in. Again, these two guys playing together. Brisbane have to continue to get the basketball to these bigs and keep them involved in the game. Crawford to Shanahan. Shanahan down low into the bear. He gets a good seal on Sam McKinnon for the deuce. Wildcats doing all they can to stay in this game. They are looking good as well. So I love about the playoffs. Stephen Black, great pass to Bobby Brennan. Hook shot is short. Sean Redditch comes down with it. Stephen Black knocks it out of bounds.
Bailey brings the ball back up the floor. We've played 4.5 minutes, term number 2. Here's Shanahan again from deep. Why not? Gibson with the rebound, off and running. Only Stephen Black with him. Now McKinnon arrives as well. The danger man against Crawford. McKinnon picks up the dribble. Whistle provided here by Brad Gersh, and a foul is going to be called on the Perth Wildcats. It's the first foul called on Perth, and we've played almost 5 minutes of the second period.
Wow.
One warning. You've had one warning. That's enough.
That's amazing. Billy Millenall, he's going to get a technical foul. He's encouraging the crowd to to clap, and Billy's standing over there by him. He doesn't want to get embarrassed.
Bobby Brennan may have traveled. That's the call from Brad Gersh. 8 turnovers in the match now for Brisbane. Wildcats have 4 in that category. Well, living up to expectations so far. 3-point ball game. Early stages, term number 2. Who is going on to face Wollongong on Friday night? Redditch spinning on Bobby Brennan, who was all at sea, but Redditch couldn't finish it off. 2 of 6 from the field now, Sean Redditch. As McKinnon again works on Crawford, confronted by Ronaldson. Manor Thatcher's a tough shot, but McKinnon is unstoppable at the moment.
Sam McKinnon gets in this mode. He is impossible to keep from getting to the rim.
Bailey trying to shake Adam Gibson, running out of room. Poor pass goes between the legs of Brennan. Shot clock to single numbers, but we'll reset it now with a foot violation called on the Brisbane Bullets.
This is Sam. Look at this determination to get to the hole. Puts it up there nice and soft. Avoids the contact with Tony Ronaldson. In saying all that, as well as Brisbane are playing, the Wildcats have been great at staying in the game.
Ronaldson to Crawford, now Bailey. In a mismatch with Bradkey, they invited him to take the 3, and they paid the penalty as David Bailey, who hit 8 threes last weekend to equal the Perth record, comes up with the goods.
I guess they feel that they're going to live with that, but Wildcats just have too many weapons at the moment.
Bradkey back to Stephen Black, caught it front on the rim. And the Perth Wildcats come back up the floor again. Shanahan against Mick Hill. Now Redditch guarded by McKinnon. Spins into the paint. Active hands from McKinnon. And Gibson goes to work and is fouled by a prone Matt Shanahan.
I thought that's what he was trying to do. That's a good foul. That eliminates the fast break. Good hands by Mick Hill, popping the basketball loose. Bullets had numbers. If Matt Shanahan doesn't make that foul, that's a good foul.
Middle stages of the second period. Brisbane by 2. A whistle off the ball here and an offensive foul is going to be called on the Brisbane Bullets. Sam McKinnon was in the vicinity and he's being called for it.
You know, these calls are going to even up. You know, like, I don't care who you are. And Sam McKinnon gets called for an illegal screen here just out of our shot. I don't care who you are, but if you're a referee, you're anybody, and you know that the foul count is heavily in favor of the other team, you think of that on those calls.
Bailey takes it from Crawford, guarded by Derek Rucker. Milking the clock, and now it gets to single numbers. As Shanahan works on Mick Hill, buffeted down on the baseline. Ronaldson for the long-range 3, couldn't finish it. Rogers got a piece of it. Bradkey puts a stop to it. 19 rebounds to 14 rebounds. Brisbane lead that category as McKinnon muscles his way down low, gets the 2, chance at a three-point play.
No better position to be in as Sam McKinnon catches the basketball. A foul is called about right there. So he knows he's got a free crack at a three-point play. If you miss it, you get 2 free throws anyway. So there is no pressure on you once you hear the whistle and you haven't got the ball in the shooting pocket yet. Sam's hooping tonight. 4 of 7 from the field. He's got double figures already.
One of 4 players in the Boomers squad involved in this match. Less than 5 minutes out from halftime. Ronaldson, another of those Boomers squad members, goes to work, drawing a foul on McKinnon. Now that's number 3 on Sam McKinnon. Out of 7 that have been called on Brisbane in the match, it's not a good sign.
Actually get Derek on this one, Case. He comes in, gets his hand in at the last second. And that's a very big break for Brisbane. They're not expecting much from Derek Rucker tonight, but the way Sam McKinnon is playing, they don't want any reason for him to be taken out of the game.
Big game player Tony Ronaldson. Played more matches than any other active player in the NBL. 538 as coast to coast. Mick Hill adds another 2, his first score in the game.
And how do you stop that? And that was some good defense. He just kept running the ball. Bailey for 3.
Off the front of the rim, and Mick Hill is fouled by Bailey. Obvious foul to prevent the fast break. 4th team foul on Perth in this period.
Brisbane wanted an unsportsmanlike foul. But in the situation of this game, and these 3 referees who are very experienced, I don't think we're going to see one.
Timeout called with 4:37 left on the clock until halftime. Brisbane 43 leads Perth 37 by 6 points. And the Bullets have been in front for 99% of the match completed so far.
We're going motion 5 out of this, all right? Sam, you be the guy pops. Sam's popping. He becomes a passer here. You got a cross screen. Hoagie's diving in out of it. Blackie, make sure you get out of there quick, though. Set that screen, get out of there. And Sam, don't throw it if Blackie's man hanging around in that. Okay? Make sure down on the defensive end we talk it up, all right? We get ready, still moving around a little bit too freely down there, all right? Make sure you bump him on the guys early. Did a good job of bumping him on the movement. Bump him on the movement, okay? We got to send 1 guy on the rotation. We're sending 2 guys on the rotation. Great, I'm glad to show all that eagerness, but 1 guy, be smart, rotate out of it. Let's go, fellas.
Well, the Bullets will be happy with proceedings so far, coming off a 4-game winning streak to close out the season here at home. And certainly with plenty of ammunition, having dropped all 3 regular season games to the Wildcats. This was the team voted as the pre-season favourites for the title, Brisbane. They finished 6th with 17 wins and 15 losses. But they are playing their best basketball at the right time in the season, particularly Sam McKinnon, who finds Mick Hill. Working on Liam Rush, needing help. Bradkey in traffic, provides it off the window. Couldn't find the target though, and Rogers cleans up for Perth. David Bailey getting some treatment from Mick Hill and not appreciating it at the moment. Now Ronaldson posting up McKinnon. Two former teammates go to work. Ronaldson couldn't finish it. Rogers tip in, wouldn't tumble. Kept alive by Boucher, who gives them good value on the hustle plays. And another chance for the Wildcats. Guarded by Rucker. Bailey is content at the moment now. Exchanges passes with Rogers. Kicks it outside where Rush is ready to go. Couldn't finish it, and Rucker with the rebound. In traffic, losing his footing out of court. And Perth will get possession.
You felt wait for the contact and he didn't make it. Wait.
Okay, we'll get another look at it. You heard the explanation. And there was some contact, and Derek, I just think is not playing for a few days. Kind of showed on that last possession.
And Bailey comes up with a long-range three as well, which buys the Perth Wildcats back into within 3 points. We have a little over 3 minutes left here, term number 2. Rucker, left alone on the baseline, elevates and knocks down another. 5 in the game now for Derek. Bailey. Now Rogers given some latitude, so he takes them on, took the hit from Bradkey, no whistle forthcoming. And Brisbane with the stop, now with an opportunity to build on a 5-point buffer. And Mick Hill goes early, caught the front of the rim. Rush with a long rebound, off and running, past Rucker, McKinnon to beat. Loses the ball out of court, last touch by Brisbane.
Substitutions for all taking in for the Brisbane Bullets are then the league. And Brisbane taking out Mark Bradkey and Sam McKinnon.
Perth to inbound the basketball. Boucher throws it upstairs to Rogers. Good pass back to Boucher for the score.
They continue to hustle hard. The Perth Wildcats back to within 3 with 2.5 minutes left here until half-time. Stephen Black. Now Rucker. Good hands again from Boucher, almost winning it back for Perth. You can see why the Wildcats recruited him when the New Zealand Breakers didn't require Boucher's services anymore. Now Rucker against Bailey, who offers him the baseline with Ronaldson providing the help D. Now Brannan fires with 1 on the shot clock and comes up with the goods. 8 in the game now for Bobby Brannan. Only McKinnon with 10 has more for Brisbane. Inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Ronaldson takes the nudge. And Mick Hill is called for a foul off the ball in a push and shoving match with Dylan Boucher. He's come off second best. 5th team foul on Brisbane. Free throws to come now for the Perth Wildcats.
Oh, 2 shots. I understand, but I have to clean it up. And I've got to call, that's right, but I've got to call something to clean it up. It's getting too physical. But if you back off, it doesn't happen.
Well, there's the explanation from Billy Mildenhall to Mick Hill, and it was starting to get out of hand and he needed to supply a whistle. Wildcats having their problems though from the free throw line. Brisbane are 1 of 1 from the stripe. Wildcats 4 of 10 with this to come. 5 of 11 now. And it's a 4-point lead for the Brisbane Bullets as Rucker gets it to Brannan just in the nick of time, but Bailey's stolen it back for Perth, confronted by Hill and Rucker. Looks to slow it down and get Perth a percentage play. Rush down low to Ronaldson and getting it back again from close range. Liam Rush comes up with his first points in the game, and Perth close to within 2. Wildcats have it back again. Boucher picks up the dribble, has to go for an ambitious pass to Bailey. And now Brisbane with an opportunity at the other end. Mick Hill thought he was fouled by Dylan Boucher. The referees didn't see it that way. And now Bailey and Rogers in a two-man game at the other end, with Rogers getting it done. Chance at a three-point play. The fans don't like it, but the Wildcats are humming. Well, there's the contact between Boucher and Mick Hill that the fans thought should have been called as a foul. And the Brisbane faithful, well, they're letting their thoughts be known here to the referees, who have called just 4 fouls on Perth here with 58 seconds left in the first half. It's incredible. Bullets have been called for 9 fouls so far. And watch this finish from Rogers. Somehow manufactured a shot against Daniel Egan. And the Perth Wildcats with an opportunity to retake the lead here. They scored the first point of this second period to take the lead for the first time when it was 24-23. And now they are looking to do it again. Well, the way they've shot the ball from the free throw line, 5 of 11 at 45%, doesn't engender a lot of confidence. And Paul Rogers is a 39% free throw shooter. 36 of 93 on the season. It's not his strong suit. He just might put the Wildcats in front here in the shadows of half-time. Caught it deep, no surprise. And the pass from Mick Hill, knocked out of court by Liam Rush. Wildcats defense creating havoc for Brisbane. As Rucker finds an opening against Bailey, couldn't finish it. Ronaldson grabs the rebound. He needed a second opportunity to control it. And the Perth Wildcats come back up the floor with Bailey taking 7 of the 8 seconds he's allowed to get over the halfway line. Ronaldson has been a little out of sorts so far in the match. Here's Rogers against the shorter Bobby Brannan. And Daniel Egan called for the foul, denying Ronaldson position in the low block. And Ronaldson will go to the free throw line.
Hold it, 2 hands.
You see Egan and Ronaldson wrestling in the background. Roger Shields could not have had better position and has called Egan for hooking. Ronaldson 1 of 2 from the stripe so far in the match. The Wildcats back in front. Ronaldson gets both. Wildcats have scored the last 7 points and have taken over by 2 as we head toward half-time. No rush here for Brisbane as Brannan takes it from Mick Hill, guarded by Rogers. Now Egan denied the ball by the active hands of Dylan Boucher again. Plenty of time for Perth to get a percentage shot away. And Bailey gets a good screen from Rogers, finds Boucher cutting hard to the hoop. Could have done better. And now Rucker on the halftime buzzer will go from half court. Couldn't get enough on it. And an entertaining first half from Brisbane concludes with the Perth Wildcats in front. Perth 49 leads Brisbane 47 here on Fox Sports. 26 points to 24 in favour of the Wildcats has them open up a 2-point lead after we were tied at 23 apiece at quarter time. Sam McKinnon's been working overtime for the Bullets and he's standing by with Steve.
Well, Sam, Perth were able to come out that one with a good run at the end of the second quarter, but it looked like you guys were at your best when you're running the ball and you're taking it to the rim.
Yeah, I think I've no doubt we're a lot better when we're pushing the ball up the floor and getting good shots. I think we started to turn over a lot there in the second quarter. Therefore, they got cheap baskets. So we've got to get back to being aggressive, just running through the offense, making them play some D, and we get good shots. I think that's the the big thing for us.
Well, you getting to the rim was good, but it looked like also you guys concentrating on getting it to Bobby Brennan and to Mark Bradkey early.
Yeah, try to go at Redditch and Bear. We're a lot bigger than those guys. Try to go to what we see as a mismatch, and we have the strength there. So we're trying to do that. We went away from it a little bit there, quick shooting it, but I think the second half will definitely be a lot better.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, we promised a good game, and you're getting one. It's the Brisbane Bullets and the Perth Wildcats. The first round of the elimination final. We'll be back right after the break.
This Fox Sports Update is brought to you by Jeep.
Tonight on the late edition Fox Sports News, Gary Ayres returns to the AFL coaching ranks, taking an assistant role at Essendon. The Western Force prepares for its Super 14 debut, and Laurie Lawrence says enough is enough in the ongoing war between Yana Pittman and Tamsin Lewis. Details of those stories and more on the late edition tonight at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time.
Fun premium light. Some drink it because they're responsible.
What?
Others just love the taste.
This game is brought to you by the AXA. I could use a bit of coaching. Plan. Whatever your plans, you can be confident AXA and your financial advisor will help bring them to life. Be life confident.
The unrivaled BMW X5 diesel, over 1,300 kilometres from one tank. May take some getting used to.
February is NBL Finals time. See all the games as the hottest teams of the NBL battle it out for the top spot. That's basketball in February on Fox Sports.
To celebrate the NBL's 1 millionth point being scored, Dodo and the Phillips Championship are giving you the chance to fly to Milwaukee, the home of Andrew Bogut, for some thrilling hoops action, as well as $1,000 worth of Phillips Electronics gear. For the chance to win, go to dodo.com.au, follow the prompts and sign up for one of their fantastic deals. Then tell us in 50 words or less why you want to win. Existing Dodo customers can also enter. For full terms and conditions, go to dodo.com.au.
Another great competition put together by Fox Sports and the NBL and Dodo, and the millionth point likely to be scored tomorrow night in Cairns. So you better get your entries in ASAP if you want to be part of that fantastic competition to see the Milwaukee Bucks and Andrew Bogut. What a great match we have going here at the moment. The Perth Wildcats in front of the Brisbane Bullets, who have led for the large majority of the first half. But of course the big news prior to the playoffs was the news that Ian Stacker's contract with the Townsville Crocodiles has not been renewed. He is a free agent now. The clubs were at pains to point out that he was not sacked. His contract was not renewed. And when you consider that Townsville won 19 matches last season and finished third, this year they won just 9 games and finished 10th. Well, it's no surprise. This is what the chairman of Townsville, Barry Carmichael, had to say.
As chairman of the Townsville McDonald's Crocodiles, I've called today's press conference to announce that the board has voted unanimously not to renew Ian Stacker's contract when it expires on the 30th of June 2006. It's the board's view Coach Stacker gave his best during his tenure, but for whatever reason was unable to continually progress the team to a position that is acceptable to the board, some of the sponsors and many of the fans. We have to make the hard decisions, and the easy decision would be to do nothing. And it's the hard decision that's managed to keep this club where it is. We always make the hard decisions.
David Carmichael there, and of course he and Barry Gibson, who worked so hard at the Townsville Crocodiles. Well, Steve, they have got their hands full now trying to bring a good coach in. Ian Stacker was a good coach for them, took them to the grand final, was able to recruit big name players, so whoever steps into the shoes has got some big ones to fill.
Yeah, but it's a great program. They've got great fan support, and they've got a great facility there. They've got training facility, and they've got great support throughout the community, and that has been a place where good players will go. It's a long way from the major cities cities of Melbourne and Sydney, but they've been able to get marquee players like John Riley and, of course, the great recruit in Brad Newley. So they can get players up there. It's a great opportunity for a coach to do some good things.
Particularly if they are able to hold on to Larry Abney, who led the league in rebounding. He was a great find for the Townsville Crocodiles. He's not happy at the moment, apparently, so the new coach, the sooner they can find someone to fill those shoes, the better it will be for Townsville.
Well, Larry Abney has been to some terrible cities and some terrible countries, so I'm sure that he'd like to stay in Australia. He did a fantastic job for the Townsville Crocs, and I'm sure he'd like to stay there. And I'm sure that a new coach would come here. I'm sure he'll give him the opportunity to show what he